Had our preseason game number one yesterday, where we go through um, pretty much everything that will happen when it becomes real in about 3 weeks' time. And I don't like any surprises for our kids or for our coaches or anything. So we try to go through that three different occasions before it's real. We'll do it again next Saturday. I was real pleased with the attentiveness. Thought the special teams period in the scrimmage yesterday was as good as we've had. Was really pleased with Braden Beck's kicks. Thought the operation on punt team was really good. Punts were inconsistent by both Max and Aiden, so we got to shore that up. Kickoff team operation was really good. Stricker's kicks were good. So I was pretty pleased with the special team, other than just the inconsistency of the punts. Then you turn into the to the scrimmage. Defense dominated the scrimmage for the most part. Offense did have 283 yards rushing, but they were built around several explosive plays. So if there was a negative for the defense, it would be the explosive plays that they gave up. But offensively, we had 6 penalties and really some MAs that really killed drives, and we were terrible on critical downs, being third down, especially third and short, and fourth down and short. So we've got to work harder at that for sure. Quarterback play was very inconsistent by all. So kind of went into that preseason game number one feeling pretty certain maybe where we were headed. Not quite as much right now, but I will say today was our best offensive practice in probably a couple years. The decisions were, last night I was really hard on them. We walked through every correction, stayed up here late. I'll say this about those guys: they want to be coached. They want to get it fixed. They want to get it right, and they're willing to put in the extra time. And we did that last night. I thought today's decision making was excellent, and we looked really sharp today. So we'll go watch the film here in a minute and see if what I'm feeling is accurate. But I thought there were some good things today. The energy was for after a game. I thought the energy was phenomenal. That may have something to do with the fact that I had it planned all along, but we're going to let them rest this afternoon instead of, and then we'll grind through the rest of the week through Saturday.
Coach, you talked about defense domination. Javon Scruggs says this is the most talented defensive backfield he's seen. What is your thoughts?
We're definitely deeper than we've been. I love these young guys. Brylan continues to show up. Corey continues to show up. I think Rockets had his best offseason, and he's playing really well. And you knew what, Quentin and Javon could do, and Jimerson's playing a good role too. So we're definitely Freeman, the Indiana transfer, is also a good addition. So we're definitely deeper. And I would think he's probably right in that we're the most talented at that position that we've been. I think we've got to just address getting out of some gaps up front. Is that a size issue? Do we need to be moving so much? Because our linebackers are big and strong. But we did get some explosive runs yesterday.
When you look at the explosive runs, are you happier that you're seeing that from the running back core after the last 2 years has been basically Malik Willis to see those guys do that?
Damien, it's hard for me to be happy anytime I leave a scrimmage. I'm either upset that the defense is not playing well or the offense is not playing well. But yeah, it's good to see. I mean, Day-Day and Shadro both had 2 really explosive runs for long distances. It was good to see.
DJ Green consistent?
Consistent. He's probably not as explosive as both of those are once you get out in open field, but I'm glad we've got him. He's a really good good back. We don't need him. I was really happy with Malik too, and he went down yesterday with an ankle. I don't know how long that'll be, but he was doing some good things also.
What is the running back room going to look like in terms of split offense? Like, will we see TJ get more carries, or will
I have no clue on that, and I could care less who gets the most carries. I really don't. I care who's productive and who's doing well in pass pro and pass receiving. And now, is there going to be a certain play here and there that, look, this needs to be a play for Shadro? Sure. Or this needs to be a play for Malik Caper. And, this is something, or a situation. So there'll be some of those, but as far as going into a game thinking, somebody's got to get more carries than the other, right now I don't feel that way.
I hadn't had a chance to talk to you about CJ Yarborough since, he rejoined the team. And what was that process like of last year, him saying, whether it's his body's beat up, he just didn't have the passion for football to say, we support you, you do what you need to do, and then, bring him back this year?
Well, every case is different, so I don't want to be put in a box that every case would be treated that way. But CJ had a lot going on in his personal life with his family, along with injuries. And I think he's a great teammate, a great leader. Could be a great player. He's got to prove that he can go through a year and be healthy. We haven't seen that. And I hope and pray that's the case, because he would be an addition to our team that's going to improve us.
What have you seen from him this training camp?
He's been banged up. He went today and looked good. So hopefully he's well now and can get ready for the opener.
Coach, we'll go to the computer now. Emily Austin with Flame Central has a question. Emily?
Hey, Coach. How are you?
Great. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, thanks. With the quarterback battle that you have going on between really three guys that could be getting the snaps this year, what does that do for you as a coach? How challenging is it for you? And I mean, I know it brings a lot of competition to practice, but what are some of the challenges from the coaching perspective?
I think the biggest challenge, we had an early staff meeting this morning to discuss, some of these things. And I think the biggest challenge is just when you make the decision, man, you don't want to lose the others, because you have a belief in them also. And there are times that they look really good. And so, trying to keep everybody working toward the same goal of helping us produce a winning football team, even while you may not have your number called, which is very disappointing. And I think that's the biggest challenge that you have. And then, this next week I think will be really critical, leading up to maybe next Tuesday or so. Just we got to get certain kids more reps before we really make the decision. And obviously that'll be somewhat telling to the individuals, and we'll have to manage those feelings and emotions.
Ideally, when would you want to announce your starter?
Whenever I feel good. I don't care if it's tomorrow. I don't care if it's next week. I don't care if it's the game week. I'm not into this secrecy of we got to wait till the game to announce the starter. Or
Right.
None of that really matters to me. I think the sooner the better for our team. So I really thought I would be close today to doing that, and had a little in my mind, maybe a bit of a pause after yesterday.
Awesome, thank you.
Next, go to Ed Lane with the Virginia Talk Radio Network.
Hugh, as far as naming a starter, how much of it's obviously based upon what the quarterbacks are showing individually within their skill set, and how much of it is where the rest of the offense is and your staff being comfortable handling the evolution of your offense with them?
It's total to me about production and understanding and decision making, and then accuracy. And then if everything's equal after that, it would come down to my gut feeling. So But really, I mean, we keep stats every practice. I can tell you, I can go pull the sheet that Jesse has that says here's his percentage in decision making being correct, his execution being correct, percentage of the average per game while he's in there with the team. So I mean, we've got numbers that tell a story, and if your gut confirms that story that's being told, that's probably where you're headed.
Thank you.
When you looked over Sunday, did what you talked about being inconsistent, was that disappointing?
It was very disappointing. We had a kid. One of the players was 30 for 30 in a practice last week in decision making, and very high on the execution. The next day he was like 27 of 29 decision making, which is a high percentage. That means the ball's going to the right place and it's the right decisions are being made. And then yesterday we had nobody, I don't think, that was over like 80%. That was discouraging.
What's a good percentage that you like?
Decision making has to be 90% or greater for quarterbacks.
Execution, 10%.
Well, I mean, execution, is he talented enough to execute it? I don't know. That changes from year to year. I mean, I'd love for it to be way up there too, but everybody's a little different. I mean, if you're running zone read, and that execution is probably more likely to happen if the decision was right by Caden Salter than it is by somebody else. But still the decision has to be right. And then we got a fighting chance after that.